Hey, what's up, everybody? Just a little talk about what's going on at the top of the blogs, so let's get to it. So, the very last presidential debate was held the other night. This is the second of the presidential debates, the third of any debate that's attached with the presidential election, and the last chance that you will be able to see the two candidates going against each other speak out on issues that's supposedly going to help you decide which way you want to vote. I think we all agreed that the first debate that President Obama and Mitt Romney had, Mitt Romney won. Barack Obama was not the most aggressive. Kind of almost looked like he was not prepared for the fight. After Joe Biden and Paul Ryan had their debate, and Joe Biden, who's always been known as the bulldog, was able to kind of pull Ryan apart. Now we have President Obama, a very different President Obama in this last debate. Clearly he won. The debate was kind of weird. It had like all these it just made me uneasy. First of all, I didn't like the setup. I know it was like kind of a town hall kind of setup this time around as opposed to just the moderator and the two candidates. But the fact that they were able to walk up on each other on that stage just kind of, it didn't sit well with me. I know that the point of that whole setup is for them to, engage with those who are asking the questions, but what it actually turned out to look like is Mitt Romney walking up on Obama, Obama walking up on Mitt Romney, and it kind of had this it was like this air of like there was going to be some shit going on. I didn't like the fact that Mitt Romney was able to walk up on Barack Obama, That's just my protective side, because it was both ways, like just to see them so closely, especially with Mitt Romney clearly trying to get Barack Obama out of his game. He was very disrespectful. He was rude. He was doing all the things that he felt like he needed to do to get Barack Obama to become angry. I know that part of it is just because we're very protective of our president. We might be looking at it a little further into it than we needed to be, but also it was clear that Mitt Romney was trying to cut him off, and I ask a question, no, answer the question, and it was a very inflammatory debate. Mitt Romney did stumble on some issues. He tried to really make Barack Obama look bad on that whole Libya incident, and Barack Obama had to school him and basically said, you don't know what you're talking about. You are lying. Mitt Romney said that Barack Obama never wanted to admit that it was a terrorist attack, and Candy, who that Candy, she was sharp, wasn't she? She had that hair curled up and everything. You couldn't tell Candy nothing. Her clothes was a little tight. It was a little ill-fitting, but other than that, Candy was all right with me. And Candy made sure that Mitt Romney was corrected. No. He did admit that it was a terrorist attack in the very next day. So, yeah, Mitt Romney, he tried it. And I'm going to tell you, that's what a lot of what happens a lot in politics, period. They know that people are not going to necessarily research what they say, so they come out with anything. A lot of times they just talk out the side of their neck and people take it as gospel. So it's up to us as citizens to, really look back and try to, call them on what they say, call them on the issues. You can't just believe either side. Another one of the Mitt Romney little blunders I think everybody's talking about is the fact that he talked about the single mothers, and how if you're a single mother, the chances are your child would, I'm paraphrasing, and I'm not, I'm taking it all out of context and all this, but basically saying that this kid who people that shoot up, movie theaters and post offices and all of that usually come from a single parent home, and if you're a single mother, chances are your child might be one of those ones that shoot up everybody. Just stupid shit like that. He backed up off of that what's it called? Fairness Pay Act, where basically it's saying that women should be paid the same amount as men if they're doing the same job. I don't really see why that's such a big deal. This is where Mitt Romney and Barack Obama definitely have differences. And I think that as women, we really need to understand that if we put somebody in office who doesn't feel like you should get equal pay for the same work that you do, sometimes even more work than a man, it's unfair. And it's really no explanation to why would you not think that a person is doing the same job, man or woman? Why wouldn't they get the same pay? So Y'all, that whole thing, that debate was something else. I got tired of it after about an hour. I was like, enough. You know, it was just enough. Studies show that people don't even change who they're going to vote for with these debates. I don't know. It definitely made me know who I wasn't going to vote for. Like always, I just want to remind everybody to get out and vote. You can now do early voting. I don't know why my voice is shaking. I got so out of breath talking about all that stuff, I guess. But you can do early voting right now, wherever city, community, you know, county, wherever you live across the United States, they are now allowing you to vote early. Make sure that you get out and vote. Not saying you should vote Democrat or Republican. I'm just saying make sure that you make your voice heard and that you vote. You guys, a really sad story about this meningitis. You guys heard about the meningitis outbreak that has gone on across the United States? 19 people have already died. They've died from being injected from this contaminated back, you know, pain medication. So I'm not a doctor or anything, but I'm going to try to explain what I think meningitis is. I believe from what I read, meningitis is inflammation of the membrane that surrounds the brain and the spinal cord, and it's contaminated with bacteria and viruses or whatever. And most people that get meningitis, if it's a fungal meningitis, that the people, they've all pretty much died from having a stroke. I guess it's just too much on the brain and the spine. Like I said, 19 people have died. It's been from 5 states, I believe. It was Maryland, Michigan, Florida, Tennessee, and Indiana. This company that had the injections, they sent them out to 24 states across the United States, to all types of clinics across the United States. They're not really sure who may have gotten some of the contaminated drugs, but they figure about 17,000 injections are out in the public right now. The symptoms for meningitis is headache, nausea, vomiting, back pain. And if you know that you've had injections for back pains, or if anybody that you know that have had injections for back pains, even if they're not having any type of symptoms, they should still get themselves checked out, because meningitis can, you know, it can sit before it starts to reveal itself. And sometimes before you find out that you have it, it might be too late. So yeah, very, very sad. I'm wondering if this company is going to be able to survive this. I have a feeling that a lot of the families of people that have died are going to be suing this company, and rightfully so. Like I said, if you know anybody, if you yourself, or if you know anybody that have had these injections, get yourself checked out, and really quick. All right, y'all, we got another fool trying to blow up some shit in New York. This time it's a Bangladeshi man. His name is, let me read it because it's real long. Qazi Mohammed Rezwanul Hassan Nafis. And old Qazi, we just gonna call him Qazi for short. Qazi came over into the United States in January of this year on a student visa. His father, who was a banker in Bangladesh, sent him over here with hopes of him getting a U.S. degree and being able to go back to Bangladesh and make better money, because he's got a better education since he got his education over here in the United States. Instead, Qazi got over here and decided that he wanted to wage jihad against the United States. So he linked himself up with what turned out to be an undercover FBI agent, and they have been planning and plotting to blow up the Federal Reserve in New York City. He would go and, you know, he was helping create this bomb, and he was fully prepared to die in his attack. The FBI basically had him going. They let him think that he was building this 1,000-pound bomb in a car. They let him go as far as driving the car all the way up to the building, and his cell phone was set to detonate the bomb. Of course, he calls from his cell phone a few times, and it doesn't detonate because it's a fake bomb. It's, you know, nobody was ever in danger. They just wanted to make sure that he followed through with the intention. So now that he's done that, they grabbed him. He was arrested and went to the Brooklyn courthouse. I believe they got him on attempt to use weapons of mass destruction, as well as attempt to provide material support to Al Qaeda. So yeah, he will be going to jail for quite a long time. 21 years old. So sad, you guys. But I think that it's wonderful that they were able to you know, intercept him. You know, New York is not playing no more. I mean, after that happened with the World Trade Center, that was such a devastating blow to the United States that everybody's got their eye on everything. They're saying that the Federal Reserve holds more gold. That is like the 6th largest you know, gold depository within the whole world. So they're not going to let anybody just decide to drive their Hyundai up to the front of the damn building and blow it up. Okay, they've got more than 1,000 private and police cameras that is trained on the area, and they are watching at all times. Any little small suspicion of anything, I'm sure they're going to be on top of it, especially the Federal Reserve. Come on, that is our money. You can probably blow up a whole bunch of other shit before you're going to blow up the money. Okay, that's where we got to draw the line. So yeah, that's it, you guys. A lot going on in the world this week, right? Everybody's talking about Brandy's CD. It came out on Tuesday of this week, and I haven't bought it. Actually, I'm going to buy it as soon as I finish making this video. I'm just glad for Brandy. I'm happy for her. You know, we have teased her and gave her a hard time about getting this album out. I have been right at the forefront of teasing her because it got pushed back so many times, and then they only played the Put It Down song or whatever it's called with Chris Brown, and I got tired of it. It's just like, because even though I like that song, I still don't think that it's up to the caliber of what Brandy can do. That girl has a beautiful voice. I've always loved Brandy's music from the beginning. I have all of her CDs, and they are all good, even with the ones that where, you know, it got a little weird towards the end, but I've always enjoyed it. I've always loved her alto voice. It's just very different than pretty much anybody in the music industry right now. The CD came out, and I hear that it's great. So after I listen to it today, I'll give you guys a review. But I'm gonna let you know what CD I do love is that Miguel. Oh my God, you guys, Kaleidoscope Dream. It is excellent. I had his first CD, and I did like his first CD too. I can't say that I didn't, but this one is on such a different level. I just like the fact that people are coming out with music that's just not, you know, the same old same. And really, I don't know what I would consider Miguel. He's not really an R&B artist. He's not really pop. He's not really, yeah, I don't know what. I guess it would be like some sort of alternative R&B pop something. Alternative, whatever it is, it's alternative of whatever it is. But it's excellent CD. So you guys really should get out and buy both of those. But congratulations to Brandy, who I believe is back on track, and she is a grown woman now, saying grown woman stuff from what I understand. So yeah, girl, go and do what you gotta do. I'm glad for Brandy. Folks been getting arrested this week. Now we have Flav got arrested on Wednesday for domestic violence and pulling out a gun on his girlfriend's son. I don't know how old the son is, but why are you pulling out a gun on anybody is what the question really should be. Then he was in there beating her ass. It is sad. I don't know how Flav goes from Public Enemy and all of the beliefs that they have to what he's become today. He was always like the comic relief of Public Enemy. He's become something else now. Have you guys seen his damn mugshot? He looks like he is about 80 years old. It is horrible. I feel so sorry for him. I don't know what happened along the way, but he definitely lost his way. And another person that lost his way is Katt Williams. Katt Williams is one of the funniest, naturally funny people to me, of the comedians. He just doesn't have to work at it. You can just tell that it comes from him. So it's so sad that I really think that Katt is on drugs. I think we all know that Katt Williams is on drugs, but he just can't seem to shake it. I was really hoping that he was back on track because, you know, he had kind of disappeared after he had a little Walmart incident out here in Georgia where I guess his girlfriend's family was worried about her, thinking that she was in danger. So they tried to come and kind of grab her from him in Walmart. And he was like, oh, hell the fuck no, you not. So he pulled a gun on him. And then he was in trouble for breaking into somebody's house at a ranch out here in Georgia that he was supposed to be house sitting. The person that was in there, he was keeping them hostage. It was some crazy shit like that. And then we also had another incident, I think, when him and a couple of women back in California, this man was on his tractor cutting his grass or whatever, and they felt like he was making too much fucking noise, so they went out there and tried to throw rocks and stones and hit the man and beat him up. Another time I saw him in a fight at a club, and this incident here is another thing at the club. He was at a club recently, and I guess he had pulled out a gun and was waving it around, and some witnesses saw it, and they called the police. Well, the police came, and they didn't find the gun, but after they went to his car, the gun was there. It was unregistered. It's just crazy. I don't know what it is with Katt Williams and these guns. Remember he was trying to get on the airplane and he had the gun in his bag. I'm telling you, he's had so many incidents. Just a whole bunch of way out crazy crackhead stories. It is unfortunate because he is just so talented, and when them drugs get a hold of you, it fucks up the whole program. I mean, you just can't even think straight, obviously. You do stupid shit. I want Katt Williams to get it together. I want him to get on some sort of drug program. I wonder if he still has his adopted kids. I mean, I know fame and fortune is really hard for some people, really hard to deal with. He is clearly one of the ones that need some help dealing with it. We just gonna send our prayers up for Flava Flav and Katt Williams. I want them all to do better. I want to know how many of you guys is going to go see Tyler Perry in this new movie, Alex Cross. Who is excited to see Tyler and his big hips running and diving and ducking and dodging and shooting and carrying on? Y'all know y'all can't wait. Yeah, Tyler is going to be in this movie. Now, this character is from the James Patterson novels. It's like a detective sleuth. I think Morgan Freeman used to play this character, but clearly Morgan Freeman is too fucking old to be running and ducking and dodging and climbing and fighting and shooting and doing all of that. They decided to go get Tyler Perry. And Tyler, I know I shouldn't talk about his hips, and actually they say that Tyler done lost 30 pounds, and you know, he said he's okay with being a sex symbol. Okay, sex symbol, okay. All right. Did you guys know that Tyler was a sex symbol? Because that's what he say. He say he is okay with being a sex symbol. Y'all hold yourselves back. I know it's hard. It's hard out there for a pimp. He don't really have like hips. He just real thick. He kind of juicy, chunky, kind of like full, just right on the borderline of hips though. But he don't have like the fucked up body that Tim do, like on Welcome to Sweeties. You guys watch Welcome to Sweeties? Now that is somebody who got the most fucked up shape. I don't know what line he was standing in, but it was like God had all these leftover parts and he just put them all together and he made up Tim. He is a bad body bitch. He's got like these humongous ass hips, this little teeny tiny waist. Almost he kind of swole up top, but you know, like borderlining on the man boobs. Then he's got this little teeny tiny Beetlejuice shrunk head, and then on top of it the old fucked up big ears and that damn haircut, y'all. He needs a makeover, okay? Because nobody grown should have a mohawk, especially when you got a head that's shaped like, and especially when you got a body that's shaped like that. He's got honestly the most horrific body, and then he be having that fucking apron on, and that shit just be just as snug right around his waist, and it just lay out right on the hips. It's the most. It is the worst. It is the worst shape. I want somebody to put him on like a makeover show. And he don't make it no better. He don't, because you can't even try to like him. He's such an ass. He's such a hater. But anyway, y'all, I'm getting off. We talking about Tyler and his hips, right? Tyler Perry, his movie comes out tomorrow, Friday. Alex Cross. How many of you guys are going to go see Tyler? Kanye said he gonna whoop anybody ass who keep on asking what the fuck he think about Reggie Bush and his girlfriend, his lookalike girlfriend, being pregnant. Kim Ye was out to eat the other night, and surprisingly so, Reggie Bush and his lookalike girlfriend was also out to eat the same night at a restaurant directly across the street. When the two couples left from the restaurant, they bumped into each other, and it was an uncomfortable exchange. It was supposed to be all this rumor going on that Kim was jealous of the fact that Reggie Bush had got this girl pregnant. I don't know how true or untrue that is. I believe that Kim Kardashian really did love Reggie Bush, you know, whatever her version of love is. Out of all the other relationships, that one I did feel like was, you know, real. It just didn't work out. I do still think that it's strange that Reggie Bush would get somebody that looks so much like his ex. Isn't that weird to you guys, or is that just okay? I mean, I know everybody got a type, but fuck, exactly like somebody? So anyway, when they're coming out of the restaurant, and they probably didn't bump into each other, but you know, it probably was a scene on both sides, and the paparazzi had a good time with it. Decided to ask Kanye what did he think about Reggie Bush's girlfriend being pregnant, and did he congratulate Reggie Bush? And honey, Kanye was like, oh no, not tonight. He went and grabbed a man's camera, threw the shit down, and cussed them out. You know how Kanye do. He is so extra. And I guess that could be annoying and everything, but for real, you got to be busting up folks' cameras and everything. He will definitely be paying for that. You know what's so funny about Oprah Winfrey? It looks like she has taken her 1-hour talk show and just decided to spread it out to a 24-hour network. Everything that she used to do on her show, she has decided to do it on her network. The shit that wasn't working on OWN is because she was trying to have all these new age, kind of psychobabble, touchy-feely type of shows. That is not what the people obviously wanted to see. So you know what? She regrouped and she got it together. Now she is interviewing people that people want to know about. She's got a couple of good reality shows on there. And now she's about to do her favorite things. You guys remember the favorite things? Everybody loved the favorite things episodes that she would have on the Oprah Winfrey Show, when she would give out just whatever she loved, she would give to her entire audience. And man, that was like a coveted seat. Everybody was trying to get to those type of shows, because you came up, Oprah, who has so much money. I mean, I guess when you get to the point where you have that much money, what else can you do but to give and help other people? Because you cannot take it with you. And so you might as well spread the love, and that is what Oprah is good at doing. The spin this time will be on the military families who are really, pushed to the limits these days, with them being deployed Afghanistan and Iraq and, overseas. So I think that it's a good idea that she's, set to help the military families. They deserve it. So, she's actually having a contest on her website, on the OWN network website, where you can actually enter if you want to be in the audience for this show as well. So good for Oprah. We about to have another favorite things show, you guys. The Game and his girlfriend, fiance Tiffany Cambridge. They have a show called Marrying the Game that's going to be coming out in November. Not really interested in watching this show, are you? Who cares about The Game? I mean, maybe if we was in LA, maybe you guys in LA care about The Game, but I don't really care one way or the other whether or not The Game marries Tiffany or any damn body else for that matter. If anybody out there still watches America's Next Top Model, Tyra Banks is now going to have boys on her next cycle. I don't know what cycle this would be. Something like 25 or something like that. Instead of just having the women, she's, Tyra's been through it all. She's had short models, she's had tall models, she's had heavy set models, she's had black models, white models, She's done a little bit of everything. So I'm sure she's running out of things to do. So now we're going to go on and put the men in there. I guess that's going to add something to the show. I don't know why they never had men before. Keisha Cole said that, she knows that she can be a lot to deal with, and that's why her and her husband, Daniel Booby Gibson, go to counseling. That's a wonderful thing that couples regularly keep somebody in, a mediator, to kind of air out issues, especially when you have a history of not being able to communicate that well. I know black families, black people in general, we are starting to accept that, we need counseling, but before it wasn't really accepted in the black community, but slowly we are starting to understand that we can't always handle it ourselves. Keisha says she knows she crazy, and that's why she gonna intend on keeping her man and go on to counseling. Joseline from Love and Hip Hop ATL has decided that she's a single woman now. Last week I told you guys about Joseline, the fact that she has said all these things on her Twitter about who we thought was probably Stevie J, how she's tired of letting a man run her life, and how she, can let everybody know that you're on the down low and all of this. Then she came back and said that her Twitter account was hacked, that she didn't say any of those things, and that she didn't know what it meant. Now it looks like she has decided that she is through with Stevie J. She is a single woman now, that she is not letting him or any other man run her life, that she is making her own money, that she is responsible for her own career, and that she, she is the, what is it? She's driving her own bus now. And boy, we got a lot going on with them buses, huh? You going to jail now? So I guess this means that Joseline is tired of Stevie J. I don't know what happened, but evidently something has happened between the two of them, that she's decided that she's going to leave him alone. I know my girl, I'm the Realist, was out at a club just last week, has pictures on her Instagram and everything of both Stevie J and Joseline together at this club. At least just last week they were together, but this week, you guys see how fast things happen? You got to stay with the times, y'all. You got to stay with the times. Toya from Tiny and Toya. Toya, who was married to Memphis, you know, famed Memphis, who was supposedly the person that beat K. Michelle's ass, was asked to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And very smartly so, Toya was just like, you know, I decided not to go on the show because, you know, I'm just used to being in control of my brand. I'm used to working with a certain producer. I'm used to having executive producer credit, and I'm used to being able to, you know, have some control of what they do and don't put on TV. You know, if I would have got on Real Housewives of Atlanta, ain't no telling what they gonna do, because their focus is on ratings. You know, they can tear up families. We've seen the reality show curse on plenty of relationships, plenty of families. I mean, just go down the drain because of the reality show spin and how it affects their lives in real life, real life, not reality. That was smart of her. I think that was probably the best decision for her, especially with this stuff going on with K. Michelle and Memphis and everything. I think that, yeah, you don't need to do nothing that you ain't in control with, not at this point. Tammy from the original version of Basketball Wives lost a whole bunch of weight. Have you guys seen pictures of her? Yeah, she lost a lot of weight. She's always had like kind of a strange body because she doesn't have hips and she doesn't really have much of a waistline, but she did lose a lot of weight, and she was very broad up top and everything, so kind of brought everything down. She's a real pretty girl, so y'all go on and check out the pictures of her. Congratulations, Tammy. T.I. and Tiny, I love that show. Guys, I love Shekinah. I think that child should have her own damn show. She just funny. She don't even realize it. The stuff that she says. You guys know that Tiny is having her own late night talk show. I want to know who all is interested in seeing that. I know on T.I. and Tiny's show, they really do focus a lot on Tiny and you know, Shekinah, because it's kind of like the comedy relief. How do you guys feel about Tiny having her own late night talk show? I don't know how this is gonna go. Like, do you guys really want to sit and listen to Tiny talk about whatever the issues? I have a feeling that it's gonna have like an adult spin to it, sort of like a Candy Coated Nights, but for television is the idea that I'm getting. Look out for it, because definitely they say that she's got the show. It's coming. I don't really know when. Tell me what you think about Tiny's late night show coming up. Kimora Lee Simmons is going to go back to reality show herself. I don't think it's going to be exactly on her life anymore. I think this time they're going to focus more on her business ventures. This time with her Just Fab shoe line that she has, which has like affordable shoes, you know, supposed to be like trendy shoes but affordable for the average buyer. I'm surprised that she's getting back into the reality show thing, especially with all this rumor swirling her situation with Give Us Free and Give Us Free fucking around with the Cola Booth girl. That Cola Booth lady, I just have a feeling if this show comes back out, she's gonna be back in the media with the quickness. Now, the only way I can see maybe her not being around is maybe Russell was able to get to some of the homies, some of the hard-hitting homies, you know, to kind of quiet her down, but she don't look like the type that's easily quieted. So Kimora will be coming back to the reality show circuit, and I bet you Cola Booth is chomping at the bit to come back to the reality circuit too. And lastly, I just want to know who out of all of you guys is going to be watching this train wreck just waiting to happen, Bobby Christina's show. You know, it's just following the Houston family after Whitney's death. If you guys see the trailer, first of all, y'all, they gonna kill Sissy, okay? They gonna kill Sissy like they gonna kill Katherine Jackson, okay? Sissy is so over it. When you look at Sissy, she has aged so much since Whitney Houston has died. It's like the lady done lost control of her fucking family, okay? Now, she ain't never really had good control over Whitney or Bobby, but now we got Gary getting into the situation. Pat, you know, this new man in Bobby Christina's life who used to be the brother, and now all of a sudden he's the boyfriend and maybe even the fiance. That Sissy is so tired. I feel so sorry for the lady. I can't even believe that she signed on to go on the show even for one episode. Like, I feel like they snuck them cameras on her and just popped them out and she had no choice, because why else would you go on a show like that? It's just so exploitive. It's just so not a good look for the Houstons. And then it seems like it just came so quickly after Whitney Houston's death. It was like, you know, y'all ain't even got the fucking glue closed on the casket good, and y'all already filming the show. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna watch a couple of the episodes. It's not nothing that I have to sit down and watch, even though, you guys, I used to love me some being Bobby Brown. But that's a whole nother thing there. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it weekly or anything like that. I mean, I'll talk about it in the reality recaps every now and then if I happen to catch it, but last week I was telling you guys about Nelly and how he got stopped in Texas in the tour bus with 36 packets of heroin and 10 pounds of weed and a loaded handgun. Remember I told you guys that he had a fall guy, someone, the weed carrier, who decided that he was going to take the blame. And remember I told you that Nelly said he didn't know anything about it and that he was very disappointed that this person that's been working for him for years would bring all these things onto his bus. Well, I'm here to tell you today that the gentleman who took the fall has decided he ain't taking the fall no more. He got his ass up there in court and said that he was not guilty, that he had no idea where these drugs and gun came from. Nelly is still maintaining that he doesn't know anything about the drugs and the gun either. I didn't even think about it last week, but yeah, I think that's probably all that stuff was on the bus with intent to sell. We're gonna see. We're gonna watch this little case closely. Nelly doesn't seem to be too worried about it right now, but if they can somehow pin it on him, he should be worried. That is a lot of drugs to try to, you know, get around. So yeah, we gonna see. Got our good eye on you, Nelly. For all you Beyonce stans out there, Beyonce will be performing at the halftime of the next Super Bowl, and that is a good look for Beyonce. I was surprised actually that she had never performed Super Bowl halftime before. The Super Bowl for 2013 is going to be in New Orleans, so that's going to be a party get down good time, I believe. Congratulations to Drake, who has got his high school diploma. And it's never too late to get your education. Drake had dropped out of school back in Canada when he was acting. You guys remember that he was on the show Degrassi, and he was the kid in the wheelchair, and he dropped out of school, which a lot of child actors do. Actually, a lot of them drop out of school and a lot of them do like homeschooling, but he dropped out. I guess that was going to work better for him, and he never got his high school diploma, so he went back to school, and at 25 years old, Drake is now a high school graduate. Marsha Ambrosius said, listen, just because I do a video and in the video I'm in a relationship with a woman does not mean that in real life I'm a lesbian. Did anybody out there think that Marsha Ambrosius was a lesbian? I think that we all thought that Marsha Ambrosius was a lesbian way before this video. I think when she was with Floetry, we thought that she was a lesbian. I think that we at least thought that she was bisexual. But she says no, she's not gay, she is not bisexual, she is only into men. What do you guys think about people who straddle the fence like this, or people who try to push the limit? I know that it's in the name of artistry and, you know, this is our video and this is artistic expression and everything like that, but what are we supposed to think when you have a video and, you know, you talking about fuck and get over it, and then at the end it's this woman that walks up? I think you are really trying to say a message without saying it, backing off of it, you know, whatever. I love Marsha Ambrosius, and I don't give a fuck if she's a lesbian or not, okay? It doesn't affect the music for me. It's not going to change my opinion of her or anybody else who's gay. I just want to know, why do people go back and forth like that? Is it just to keep their names in the news? Alright, you guys, we do this every week, so make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure that you come back. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.